can feel pain, you are alive. If you can feel others' pain, you are human. And if you can work towards reducing others' pain, you are a Rotarian. Namaskar and welcome to Anubhav Rotary Sunday series from District 3192, where stories of service, leadership and inspiration take center stage. I am Rotarian Milind Deshpande and I am pleased to bring to you another inspiring individual today, interviewed by one and only Rotarian Sanjay Dugar.
Hello everyone and welcome once again to the Anubhav Rotary Sunday series. This time we have our DGE, Dr. Anil Gupta with us. And of course all of us have heard stories about his leadership. So first of all, welcome to the episode and thank you for giving us the time. Anilji, we would like to hear your thoughts on how leadership in Rotary particularly is different from that in the corporate world.
Good morning, Sanjay. First, thanks for inviting me to this very interesting sessions which you are running. I think congratulations for that. And I think it's really motivational. I have gone through some of the episodes and I think it's been really motivational and inspiring to many of our team members. So leadership is a very challenging subject and very interesting subject in Rotary, and very different from a leadership in corporate. Of course, you carry your experiences from the corporate to Rotary, but the first thing is you have to kind of forget when you are in Rotary, because Rotary is an organization of leaders. So you have leaders from all fields of life, from different fields. They are coming together, and when you have to manage those leaders as a leader, it's a different challenge. In corporate it is a different thing. You have a targets, you have a task, and you have a time, and of course you can possibly drive as per your thought process. While Rotary doesn't work like that. Rotary is a different kind of experience, but Rotary has set up a very beautiful core values, which actually drives all of us as a leader and all the incoming leaders also. We pass on the same core values. One is the integrity. That's very important, that we tell that whatever we do, we have to do as a leader with integrity. And then we foster fellowship. That's one very important part of Rotary leadership, that fostering fellowship, and via that taking out their strengths, their skills, so that which can be used and drive them. Third is the feeling of involving with the communities.
Involvement, yeah. That
whatever you do, whatever way you can, you have to give back to communities, which sometime in corporate world we do keep in mind, but with different pressures we forget. But in Rotary, I think that's a very important part, that as a leader we have to remember that yes, we have to give back to the communities, and then we have to develop leaders.
Absolutely.
See, that's very important. In Rotary, you have to develop leaders, and that becomes very important part. And you have to embrace diversity.
Embrace
diversity becomes a very important point, because you are getting leaders from all parts of your life, all kinds of leaders, and you have to make sure that diversity, you have to embrace that diversity to drive. And I think that's where I feel a very big difference.
Absolutely.
Which happens.
Yeah, so to sum that up, we're talking about integrity, that being very important. And yes, that little diversity that exists, because people come from so many vocations, so many parts of the country, and all together embracing that diversity. Yes. And I thought that developing leaders, and that was something unique, because I see Rotary every year, your leadership term is over, and then others are coming in. So how challenging is it to really very thoughtfully structure yourself so that you develop leaders?
Yeah. See, again, it's a very beautiful concept. Over the years it has been planned. The leaders are decided 3 years before. So you get enough time to understand, observe and plan your strategies, and also develop your skills. And this learning actually I have taken to my corporate also.
Oh, okay.
So it's a two-way process. It's not only the corporate experience came to Rotary, the Rotary experience went to the corporate. And this is a beautiful way, because you forget sometimes, you have to develop leadership and that kind of thought process has to go through. So because this is done almost 3 years in advance, it gives a lot of, time to upskills your leaders, self as well as other leaders, to develop them for the challenging position which they will get in the future. And I think that's the beautiful system.
Yeah, I think timing it, knowing in advance, that definitely helps. And yet, I see that a little focus and attention needs to be given there, and I believe it's driven by the way Rotary is structured, which is great. I love the two-way exchange of thoughts, like how corporate information comes into the Rotary and vice versa.
Exactly. It's a value to corporates. Frankly, the Rotary experience is a big experience to the corporate world. Like, for example, a small thing I'll tell you, motivation. In Rotary, we believe a lot in motivating people. And, because we are all leaders and we have to work with them and take it forward. So motivation is a very important part in Rotary, which normally in corporate world, we miss it out many times. As a leader, we miss it out. So we sometimes take it for granted. While in Rotary, this is what I learned, that, every small effort done by people, if we motivate, it encourages them to much more. And I think that was a beautiful learning which I could take back to the corporate side also.
I'm also thinking you particularly emphasized on fostering fellowship. So, and you did link it up saying that's where it all starts.
Yeah.
So, what can the current Rotary leaders do to foster fellowship?
So, lots is already being done. In fact, a lot of efforts are being done. And we have a beautiful concept of international fellowships, which we have, which takes care of all kind of interests. Whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are, a wine lover, or whether you are passionate about music, or whether you are a sports enthusiastic, you have groups for everybody. And via that, when we come together to see or meet our hobby, we develop a bond. And when you develop a bond, ultimately, of course, the giving back to society is there in every Rotarian's mind, and we work towards that. But the bonding is very, very important, and the bonding which happens through the various fellowships which is being done, that helps in taking it forward.
Wonderful. There was one thing which stood out, and you talked about this somewhere, about AG. Do you want to build on that?
So, of course, my name is Anil Gupta, so people call me AG for that purpose. But okay, from my point of view, A means aim high, and G means go for it. So aim high and go for it. And that's what is AG for me.
Aim high and go for it.
Yes.
All right, that's really inspirational to the current Rotary leaders. I'm sure they take a message out of that. Okay, so as a last parting bit, what's your advice to the current Rotary leaders?
I can just say to my incoming leaders, because we have almost 100 clubs and 100 incoming leaders are going to be ready very soon. In fact, they are already getting charged up. So just a message to them in a very simple Bollywood song lyrics, which summarize everything. रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के. एंड अदर थिंग इज आने वाला पल जाने वाला है. आने वाला पल जाने वाला है. हो सके तो इसमें पूरी एनर्जी लगा दो. पल ये जो जाने वाला है. एक बार पल से लम्हा गिरा कहीं. एक बार पल से लम्हा गिरा कहीं. वहाँ दास्तां मिली लम्हा कहीं नहीं. So it is up to us, friends, as leaders together. We are the ones, we have the opportunity, we have to set up the legacy, we have to write those stories so that when we look behind the time, we can see those dastans, those stories and those legacies, and feel happy and feel satisfied, because the time gone is gone.
Absolutely.
So that we cannot achieve. So that's what I think, that's the only message I can say in summary to all my incoming leaders. Thank you.
Absolutely. Leaders, you get 1 year to really create that legacy. So go for it. I think aim high, go for it. That's the message which we have. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode. And we look forward to having you in sometime
Sure,
again.
it's my pleasure. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Anubhav Rotary Sunday Series. If today's story inspired you, share it and subscribe for more such meaningful conversations from Rotary District 3192.